Alan Maximin looks inside for Almiron. It's a brilliant pass. Almiron, oh my god, our first goal for Newcastle United is unbelievable. Good pass for John Joe Shelby. No, I've pressed the shoot button, but I managed to cancel it and we've scored. John Joe Shelby with a fantastic goal, and on the break, here we go guys, episode number 2 of the Newcastle Career Mode series. Let's get it. Last episode we had a major club clear out. I mean, we sold maybe 7 or 8 players like Andy Carroll, Atsu, players that I just didn't plan on using. And because of that, we're rocking 44 million in the bank right now, which means this episode, signings are gonna happen. Last episode we did sign a player in Joe Willock on a loan to buy deal, so that was some good business. Let's hope in this episode we can keep that up. Of course, let's not forget we managed to start out our Premier League season with a big win over Leicester City. It was difficult, but we got it done. And in this episode, let's hope we can pick up some more wins and keep the run going. Big episode with transfers. You guys, I know I've been waiting to find out what that sponsor segment is all about. We'll be going through that as well. It's going to be a massive episode, and if you're enjoying this Newcastle Career Mode, I'd really appreciate if you could spare a second and drop a like on the video. Helps with the channel, helps with the YouTube algorithm, and also if you are new around here, subscribe for daily FIFA 21 Career Mode content, and let's get this underway. Press conference to kick off today's episode. Of course, you guys can get involved as well by dropping in your questions down in the comments section below. First one of the day, signed David Brooks from Bournemouth, as he's got good potential and he can be awesome on the wing and would be amazing to partner with Maximin and Ryan Fraser. You're not wrong, and honestly, David Brooks was one of my first choice players to bring for that right mid spot, but the thing is, Chelsea have acted quicker than us. They've signed him from Bournemouth, and that means David Brooks for at least this first season is out of the picture, which is such a bummer. I remember how good he was for me in my Leeds Career Mode back in the day. And well, we won't be able to get him on this series, but there's another player you guys have been suggesting in the comment section, and that's Emiliano Buendia, who plays for Norwich, and I feel like he'd be a great transfer as well. The 4-star week for the 4-star skill moves is there. He's pretty young. The only question is if we can get him on a good deal, which we'll try and make happen. So I think for that right mid spot, Emiliano Buendia is probably going to be the man. Next up, sell DeAndre Yedlin because he left in real life. Max Aarons can be a good replacement now. I had no idea Yedlin had left Newcastle United, and that is such a bummer. I thought he'd be a reliable right back to have in this series, especially with that pace. But to keep things realistic, we're going to transfer list him and offload him from the club, and that means we're on the hunt for a right back. Max Aarons seems like the right choice. In fact, apparently Newcastle have been linked with him, so why not? Let's try and make this deal happen. We might be signing a couple of players from Norwich in this episode, which should be interesting for us, but frustrating for them. We'll see how things go. Next up, what are your expectations for this season? Ooh, that's a tricky one. I'd say finishing top 10 in the Premier League would be the dream, but I think it's going to be very difficult with the squad we've got. But hopefully with the signings we make, we can actually make that happen. We're off to a good start. In terms of cup competitions, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just hoping maybe we can have a decent cup run in the Carabao Cup, but my focus is in the Premier League to finish as high as possible. So I'm thinking top 10 is the most realistic, but top 8, ooh, that would be unreal. With that press conference wrapped up, let's move on. It was actually very difficult choosing the player of the episode from the last one because Almiron was superb. Of course, John Joe Shelby scored a goal and Dubravka in goal was just phenomenal, but I'm gonna go with Almiron. His goal was just sensational from outside the box, a wonderful left-footed strike, and that's why Miguel Almiron is gonna be your first player of the episode of this series. Okay, I know you guys have been super excited to find out what is all this sponsor stuff and how is it gonna replace the season objectives we normally have. So well, they're on your screen. So basically what we're gonna do, boys, we've got 3 contracts ahead of us: Burger King, Jeep and Heineken. These will be the 3 shirt sponsors we could choose from for next season. So yes, the sponsor we have on our kit will be changed next season to one of these, only if we are able to complete these objectives on your screen. For example, if we want the Burger King sponsorship for next season, which by the way gives us a 5 million signing bonus, we're gonna have to maintain a positive goal difference and win 9 home games this season. Of course, if we want the Jeep sponsorship, which is of course a slightly better brand, I'd say, we got to finish top 10 in the Premier League and win 12 home games this season. Similarly for Heineken, the objectives are even more difficult, like finishing top 8 in the Premier League and reaching the semi-finals in a domestic cup competition. So as we complete these objectives, we unlock certain sponsors, and of course they give us signing bonuses. For example, Heineken gives us 12 million, whereas Burger King gives us 5. So let's try and unlock as many of these deals as possible for next season. And yeah, that's how sponsorships are going to work, and it's going to be super fun to see us unlock them and hopefully add them onto our kit for next season. So hopefully over the course of this season, we'll be able to complete these objectives. I'm not entirely sure how Burger King would look on these Newcastle kits, but I'm pretty sure Jeep and Heineken would look just fine. If any of you guys want to make custom kits for me for this career mode with any of these 3 sponsorships, do make them and send them over. We might use them for next season, but yeah, I can't wait to see how this sponsorships thing pan out in this series. Okay guys, for now, time to get into some business. It's time to start making transfers. First of all, what I'm gonna do is transfer list DeAndre Yedlin because, well, he's left the club in real life. It only makes sense to do so. His contract's expiring as well, so hopefully we can sell him in this window. We're gonna now scout the 2 right backs, the right back and right mid, Buendia and Max Aarons. Hopefully we'll get the information soon and we can make a move on them. A couple of offers already coming in for Yedlin, which is interesting. 6.1 million. I want to try and get a bit more for him from Fulham. Let's see if it's possible. And I'm thinking we counter about 7. I think 7 is a fair amount. Fulham. What am I even saying? 7 million for Yedlin I feel like is a fair amount. Let's see if they're willing to do with that. There you go, boys. 7 million for DeAndre Yedlin. I'll take the cash. I wouldn't be selling him if he wasn't sold in real life, but hopefully we can get the Max Aarons deal over the line. Let's actually get the right back deal sorted. He's only 73 rated, which is a bit of a bummer, but he's got that potential, boys, so in the future he's going to be amazing, and that's why I think we can get him for relatively a cheap deal. So 9 million is his valuation. Let's try and get him for a bit cheaper than that. I'm thinking we start off with 8 million and see if they're willing to play with that. 8 million for Max Aarons from Norwich. Let's see if they're willing to accept that. They want a 10% sell-on clause, which is perfectly fine because I don't think we're going to be selling Max Aarons in quite a while. So we'll accept that. 8 million for him seems like a good deal, especially since we're selling Yedlin for 7. A 5-year deal and a rotation squad role works for me. I think he's going to be getting a lot more game time than that squad role suggests. But you know what? Having him on that squad role isn't too bad. In terms of his salary, we'll offer him about 20,000 per week and maybe an 80,000 signing bonus. I doubt he's going to accept this, but let's just see. Oh, he's accepted that. Fair enough. There you go. We've just signed Max Aarons, our first signing, well, apart from Joe Willock. We're going to count this as one of the transfers. We've got 2 transfers remaining in this summer transfer window. Let's make them count. But Max Aarons is now a Newcastle player. Have a look at that, boys. Newcastle have announced Max Aarons. Some of his best stats are, of course, his pace. He's got the acceleration, the agility, and he's only going to get better for us. Now time to try and make a move on Emiliano Buendia. He's, by the way, 77 rated, so he might prove to be a bit expensive, boys, but let's make this happen. Oh my god, he's worth quite a bit, but I do know he's got that potential as well. We might have to break the bank to make this transfer happen. I mean, in terms of the transfer budget we've got here. But I think it'll be worth it. A player I've never used before. He's got experience with English football. This might just be the play. Let's make this transfer happen. Approach to buy. Let's see if we can pull this off. Okay, so I'm once again going to be conservative with my approach and offer 16 million to start things out. 16 million for Buendia. Let's see if they're willing to play with that. Nope, they want a lot more than that. And a sell-on clause. Okay, so let's counter with 18 million, which I think is close to his valuation. And we'll propose the transfer fee. Okay, let's do that. 18 million plus 15% on the sell-on clause. Come on, accept that. They're willing to... They just want to stick with that 21.3 million, man. Okay, let's counter with 19 million. Come on, I feel like 19 is closer to his valuation. Probably even a bit more. In fact, now 19 million is his valuation. So, 20.2. You know what, boys? I think 20.2 is fair for Buendia. 23-year-old, a lot of talent. A quality winger. We're going to do it, boys. 20 million has been paid for Buendia. Now we've just got to convince him to join Newcastle. Important squad role. He wants that game time, boys, which I do respect. He's not the fastest of players, but I remember back in my Leeds career mode, we had David Brooks, and he played like a similar role of not being the rapid winger, but more of a playmaker. We've got Saint Maximin, Wilson, and all of those players, and Almiron as well for pace. Maybe he could be the dictator, the playmaker in midfield, so I do like that approach. 5-year contract as well, good to see him committed to the cause, and these are his wage demands. We'll just remove that goal bonus, submit offer, and let's see if he's willing to accept this. He is, and there you go. Buendia from Norwich has decided to sign for Newcastle. We've kind of stolen a couple of players from them, but a lot of talent in these two players, man. Our right side, couple of new players. It's going to be fantastic to see how they perform on the pitch. 20 million signing, boys. Our new number 7. I think we can give him that kit number. Why the hell not? Some of his best stats are his dribbling, balance, aggression, and vision. I like that. A talented player like him. Maybe our very own Messi. I think that's high praise, but we'll see. So now we've got about 16 million left in the bank. Probably about 6 or 7 million coming in from that Yedlin transfer. So let's say about 22 million left to make more signings. We've got one signing still left to make in the summer window. And I think that's got to be a CDM. Someone better than Hayden. That's probably what I'm looking at. We'll keep that transfer for the next episode. Let me know in the comment section who should we bring in. Time to get into our first game of today's episode as we take on Fulham. And this is how I've got my team set up. I'm rotating a few players just to give players like Joe Willock a chance to shine. He starts in that cam role, but also starting Sean Longstaff. I've got to remember who's Sean and who's Matthew, but I think the one we're starting today is Sean Longstaff. We've got Buendia making his Newcastle debut as well, and Max Aarons as well. So a lot of debutants in this one. Even Joe Willock's first start as a Newcastle player, so should be interesting. A strong Newcastle setup. I think we're favourites against Fulham, and let's make that count. As I said before, if we want to finish high up in the Premier League table, we need to take points from games where we're expected to take points, and let's make it happen here against Fulham. Longstaff, a lot of expectations from him in this series, boys. I've been reading your comments. A lot of you guys have been hyping up the two Longstaff brothers. Saint Maximin now. Out wide for Willock. Longstaff again. Looks inside for Willock. Some neat passing. Callum Wilson here. Could maybe get on the turn. Goes back for Willock. We're opening up some space. And Jonjo Shelvey going for goal. Hitting the bar as they cleared the ball away. Would have been another banger from Jonjo Shelvey. Lord Voldemort himself. But the crossbar denies him. That was a phenomenal attempt from Shelvey. I mean, if we can get that kind of form from Jonjo in this series, that'll be incredible. As a chance now potentially for Fulham as the ball runs away for a goal kick. Shelvey again looking for Buendia. Now I'm excited to see what Buendia can do on the ball as he looks to feed this one for Callum Wilson. It's a brilliant ball. Callum Wilson, let's go boys. Newcastle United with the lead. Buendia with a phenomenal pass to break through the Fulham defence. And Callum Wilson gets his first goal of the season. Awesome to see. This is what we want to see from this Newcastle team. Signing that playmaker, and Buendia has proven to being influential already because that was a phenomenal pass through to Callum Wilson, whose run through the defence was superb as well. The finish as well, brilliant with his weaker left foot. And well, Newcastle are in the lead against Fulham. Come on boys, let's get a win in our first game at the St James's Park. They've gotten through here, and is he offside? I'm not sure. I think he's on. He's on here. Big save needed from Dubravka, but this time he couldn't save us. Fulham get the equaliser almost instantly, which is frustrating. Our defence was really open there. We kept a really high line and we paid the price. Well, it's 1-1 against Fulham now. Cleverly done to find Jonjo Shelvey. Could look for some options. Finds Callum Wilson. And now Joe Willock is broken through. This looks brilliant. Cross inside. It's a decent ball but cleared away by Fulham. Incisive pass inside for Callum Wilson, who's broken through. Could be another goal for him. Callum Wilson, no. How is Areola saving that? The former Real Madrid keeper with a sensational save to deny Callum Wilson. That should have been 2-1, guys, honestly. Half-time against Fulham, it's been a tough game. They've really stepped up for this one. It's 1-1. I think it's anyone's game to win in the second half. Longstaff. Now Saint Maximin. Haven't seen much from him in this one. Good pass there from him. Jamal Lewis looking back for Saint Maximin. A bit of space for him to go for goal, which he does. Areola again with the save. How are we not leading this game? Two big saves from Areola to stop us from getting into the lead. Mitrovic looks for the pass inside. I do not like this. The chip shot is brilliant. I called out Dubravka way too early. And we're 2-1 down to Fulham. This feels so unfair because we've been creating so many chances against them. But, well, Fulham have been very, very efficient with the less opportunities they've had. They get in behind so easily. That's what happens when you don't have pace at the back. Well, We're 2-1 down. I'm such an idiot, guys. I forgot to put Almiron on the bench. Wow. That's probably going to cost us now. What I'm going to do now is play Buendia in cam and Fraser out wide. That should work. I'm thinking any other substitutions we could make. You know what? Let's try and bring on the other Longstaff, Matthew Longstaff, for his brother. And see if that changes things. Looks for Callum Wilson. Buendia. Now Saint Maximin again. I'm not entirely sure if he's on. I think he is. Looks for the pass back in. That's a mistake. That's a big mistake. Should have just maybe tried to do something more with Saint Maximin. We can't be so bad in the final third, man. Here's Buendia. I'm waiting for Saint Maximin. And there you go. Saint Maximin's made the run properly. He's on the attack here. Has that back heel worked? It has. Matthew Longstaff. Buendia now. Callum Wilson, we're moving the ball around really well and we mess it up at the end. We still have possession though and we could still try something. Callum Wilson looks for the pass inside for Fraser. Big chance. Going for goal and the shot gets blocked. And that's that for this one full time, and it's a painful defeat because I really feel like we could have won this game. We were far better than them, but we just weren't efficient in the final third. There were quite a few positives. We were creating a lot of chances, but we've got to take them. Otherwise there's literally no point. Tom Kenny was superb against us. Fair enough, Fulham. That's a big win for them against us. So the Yedlin deal has gone through. He's been sold to Fulham, coincidentally, the team that just beat us. So we get 5 million added onto our transfer budget. And now we get an offer for Matt Ritchie, which I'm genuinely considering to accept. From Bayer Leverkusen, by the way. The wages will free up, will be amazing. And also, are we really going to use him all that much now that Buendia has joined us? We've got Ryan Fraser on the bench as well. Let me just reject this offer from Barca. I don't know why they want him. I'm thinking let's negotiate with Leverkusen just to see what they're willing to offer. Alright, so let's counter with 7 million for Matt Ritchie just to see what Leverkusen are willing to go up to. Nope, 5.1 is their limit. Okay, if we can get his valuation, I'll be okay with selling him. 5.5 million. And yep, they're willing to work with that. So I think Matt Ritchie is going to be on his way out as well. I think we got to start putting players on development plans. And Alan Saint Maximin is probably the most requested one. We've got to get that shooting up. And I don't know which one is the best one for shooting. I think it's got to be the inverted wide midfielder one. That boost is weak foot as well. So that'll probably work in the most effective way. I think we got to do that, boys. His finishing will go up massively, attack positioning as well, the shot power as well. I think, yeah, let's put him on the inverted wide midfielder plan. Since Max Aarons is going to be our starting right back, I'm pretty sure a development plan on him would be really useful. I desperately want to get his defensive stats up as much as possible, so we'll put him on a defensive wide back plan just for now. That'll also boost his work rate, so makes sense at least for now. I think it's time to get into our next Premier League game of the season where we're up against Southampton. This is going to be a tricky one. They're in a very similar situation to us. They've won one game, they've lost one. Let's hope we can beat them and bounce back from that really frustrating defeat to Fulham. Looks like finally we've got player morale and sharpness working for our players, because we've got players like Wilson getting a couple of overall boosts, Buendia, Aarons, Maximin, so that's awesome. Hayden's on a -3, which is frustrating, but if he starts playing more often, I'm sure we'll get that sorted. So that's the lineup I'm going with against Southampton. They've got Danny Ings up top. It's going to be difficult dealing with him. Ward-Prowse is quality. They've got a decent backline with Bednarek. This is going to be a very even game, but if we can walk away with a win, I think that'd be huge. Of course, we were really good in that game against Fulham in terms of creating chances. If we can, do the same here, but of course start finishing our chances, I'm sure we'll walk away with a win. Come on. Oh, Danny Ings has already turned me, but that's good defending from Fabian Schär. For a moment, I thought Ings was going to be through. We survived that, and it's a bit of a weird setup here for near Southampton's backline, but it might work in our favour. Almiron is back in the lineup, and I'm sure he's going to be big for us here as he's breaking through with his pace. Looks out wide for Buendia, but he can't get past Ryan Bertrand. I mean, Almiron is key for us. No surprises. He wasn't involved in that last game and we drop points. Here goes Saint Maximin. Looks for Wilson. Back to Saint Maximin. It's brilliant football. Saint Maximin 1v1. Let's go, boys. Alan Saint Maximin opens the scoring against Southampton. Good to see him get his first goal of the season. The link-up play between him and Callum Wilson was just lethal there. Once Saint Maximin was through, I knew I had to play the return ball through to him, and it worked just perfectly. Saint Maximin with the goal, and we're leading 1-0 against Southampton. Now remember, we were in the lead against Fulham as well, but we choked, so we can't let it happen this time around. Oh, Nathan Redmond looks for Danny Ings. This is not good. Shea Adams, Lascelles with a good challenge, I've got to say. Our defense overall in this episode, barring a few errors here and there, have actually done well. To be fair, if they have been making a few errors, that's not really good. But anyways, in that instance, they were good. Shea Adams again, but they've made a big blunder there. Lascelles smart to take the ball away. And now he's bringing it forward as well. Going to release this one for Callum Wilson. Out wide for Buendia. And we could maybe do something here. John Joe looks for Miguel Almiron. Nah, that's a bad pass. Oh, Danny Ings with a great pass out wide for Nathan Redmond. That's, oh my god, one of the best saves I've seen in career mode. Dubravka, take a bow. What on earth was that? I thought Southampton were getting the equaliser right there, but oh my god. That is just sensational. Dubravka, wow. That's, oh wow. Just never seen that happen. Unreal. What a save, and it keeps the scoreline 1-1. Shea Adams, who's been so difficult to deal with as he looks out wide for Armstrong. Ball played back in. Oh, Fabian Schär had to win that, and he did. We're honestly hanging on at this point. We've barely been able to get the ball forward in the second half. But now might be the chance of St. Maximin running at this defence. Looks for Callum Wilson. Good pass for Buendia if he can get there first. Cut back inside for Miguel Almiron. Let's go, boys. Against the run of play, we've doubled our advantage. Miguel Almiron yet again with his second goal in the Premier League. What a finish as well. Buendia grabs yet another assist in this series. He looks really delighted with that. Have a look at this. Callum Wilson, fair play for spotting Buendia there. A lovely cut back, and Almiron just easy business there for him. We're 2-0 up against Southampton. Come on. Now looks for Redmond. Oh, that's a good challenge, but Redmond still has it. Shea Adams, Fabian Schär. Look at the pressure from Southampton. Difficult to deal with. Armstrong again, but we're really defending well. Still chance for them. Still Armstrong. And they've gotten past me there. Fair play. I knew the goal was coming in once he beat Fabian Schär. Southampton back in it. This time Dubravka couldn't save us, and it's game on. Every game feels so intense in this series, boys. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's what happens when you're doing something like a Road to Glory career mode on FIFA. Every game is war. I just cannot deal with Southampton's pressure. I just can't. They've been unbelievable in the second half, and they deservedly so get their equaliser. It's 2-2, and the Southampton fans are going crazy here. Can't help but feel we've choked. I really should have been more defensive, but I just couldn't deal with them. I think Shea Adams with a brilliant goal. Like, look at this. We got super unlucky there as well, but oh well, 2-2. You know what, guys? There just might be enough time to get a winner here. Almiron, in space, beats one. Still Miguel Almiron. Fake shot was maybe unnecessary. Buendia, good pass for Callum Wilson. Goes for goal. How is McCarthy saving that? No. That was the chance to get the winner. There you have it, guys. Full time. I'm gutted that we couldn't get 3 points here because we were 2-0 up. We really should have seen this game out, but that's the Premier League. Our team just isn't good enough in certain situations, and well, a 2-2 draw is what we're going to have to settle with. Man, this is going to be a long and difficult season if this is how every game is going to be like. Was that debut a bit of a letdown? First of all, he made his debut in that last game. Second, I'm pretty sure he got an assist, and I thought Buendia has been brilliant in this episode with a couple of assists, so I'm not sure what this interviewer is saying. So we end off the episode being 10th in the Premier League. We could have easily gotten a win in that last game. Gutted, but anyways, next episode we'll get back to hopefully winning ways. Of course, don't forget we've got transfers to make in the next episode. We adjust our budget about maybe 20 million. Definitely, yeah, 20 million to spend for that CDM. I think I want an upgrade over Hayden, or maybe we should go for a defender. I'm not entirely sure about that. You guys help me out in the comments section on what needs to be done, but major transfer to make in that next episode as well, our final transfer of this summer window. Quick look at our sponsor objectives. So the easiest one is definitely the Burger King objective, and that's why it's got the least signing bonus on it. But so far we haven't made any progress towards that. We've got a goal difference of 0, which isn't positive, and we haven't won a single home game so far. But you know what? We've just started the season. I'm sure we'll get things done. I feel like Buendia definitely has to be player of the episode. He got an assist for the only goal we scored in the first game of the episode against Fulham, and he picked up an assist in our second game as well in the draw against Southampton. So can't really see any other good options. So for me, it's going to be Buendia. Alright, boys, this is where we're wrapping up today's episode of the Newcastle Career Mode. Next episode, the Carabao Cup begins. Yo, early on facing Aston Villa already. That's not good. We've of course got some more Premier League games. Wolves to face. Oh god. That's gonna be a nightmare. Plus, we've got that transfer to make as well. A lot to do in this series. Keep the support coming in by dropping a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. And well, I'll catch you all next time.